Thank you for coming out so early this morning to watch us all officially complete our high school journey. I thought about a lot of different ways to begin this speech, since I've been fantasizing about making it since my sister graduated from high school 10 years ago. I thought about beginning with a memory that the entire class shares, or by congratulating my classmates individually. I thought about beginning with a Dr. Seuss quote, or as David Foster Wallace called it, a didactic little parable. I considered turning off my microphone and shouting the entire speech so that administration couldn't turn it off if I talked for too long. All of these options would have been perfectly acceptable cornerstones for my speech this morning, but none of them seemed to fit my class. So instead, I've decided to begin the ceremony by sharing a fun fact with all of you. So, did you know that in about 1986 or 87, the band Cheap Trick played a concert on this stage? If you don't know who Cheap Trick is, they are responsible for the song, I Want You to Want Me. You know the rest, So, isn't that awesome? Isn't that like the neatest thing? Some people may say that that is the coolest, most exciting thing that has ever happened in this room, maybe even in this whole town. But I would disagree. I think that this class, graduating right here, right now, from this stage, is the most exciting, interesting, important thing that has ever happened in this school, maybe even in this town, maybe even the whole world. I know that's how I and every member of my class feels right now. We all feel this way because at this moment in time, we are gazing at three beautiful things. First, we're seeing the past, all of the wonderful things that we've learned from this school and from one another. We're seeing the faces of our moms and dads who are at every soccer game and parent-teacher conference, our classmates that we've known through all these years, and each individual memory that we have with that person is flashing before our eyes like we died in an Arnold Schwarzenegger action movie. Second, we're seeing a surreal present. We're looking at a single moment, a perfect place for one chapter to end and the next to begin. We aren't given very many blatantly transitional moments in our lives. Usually change happens without us noticing. But today, we're getting it all at once. Whether that is exciting or terrifying is entirely up to the graduate. Finally, we're looking at the sea of opportunity that is our future. We're looking at all of the things that we want to be and all of the things that we've dreamed of doing. Right now, I can see the Australian outback, the premiere of my first movie, and finally learning how to skateboard, which in all honesty, I probably could have done in high school, but I was very busy. With all of my classmates looking at their goals and dreams for the future, I would like for them to entertain a few ideas. You could call them pieces of advice, but I've had just as much experience as the rest of them, and I'm not qualified to advise them. So instead, I'd like to call this my challenge to my classmates. Live incredible lives. There are going to be people who are going to tell you that today marks the end of the best 4 years of your life. Don't you dare let that be true. Today marks the end of the first 2 decades-ish, maybe. But it also marks the beginning of the next 70 years. When I look at us, the class of 2015, sitting here in our caps and gowns, I see nothing but potential. And I would be horrified to learn that we didn't live up to that potential. We have been given skills and knowledge that will help us take over the world. And it would be a crime not to use those skills and take that opportunity. This is a bittersweet day, certainly, but don't think of it as negative. Savor this moment. Live in this last second of high school and then look with determination ahead. As we walk out of these doors, I hope you are all ambitious and kind. I hope you take opportunities that are presented to you and that you give opportunities to others. Give yourself a moment to shine and then hand the spotlight to someone who needs it. Listen to people. I don't just mean that you should be listening to me right now if you've been nodding off. I mean, give someone a listening ear. It can mean a lot to someone, and you've needed it in the past. Believe in something, whether it be religion, or science, or politics, or good food. Believe in something that fulfills you and help other people to be fulfilled. You may notice that a lot of what I'm saying is followed by a caveat. Once you've done something for yourself, do something for someone else. I say this because in my own life, the most meaningful experiences have been the ones where I've been given the opportunity to help other people and I've taken that opportunity. It's a win-win situation. Someone else gets a helping hand and you get to feel all warm and fuzzy. Go out into this world and make a positive impact by helping others, whether it be on a small scale or the entire country. You will not regret it. Finally, and most importantly, say thank you. Gratitude is not implied. You have to make sure that the people around you know that you appreciate what they do for you. I've had many people who have helped me become a more fulfilled person, and I would be remiss not to thank them. I have to thank my teachers for giving me the utility belt of skills that I will need for the rest of my life. Skills like how to be optimistic, which I learned from Mr. Phelps, and how to be persistent, which I learned from Mr. Ripley, some JFK trivia from Miss Gibson, and a little bit of Gaelic from Mr. Lanky. Mrs. C taught me physics, which must have been hard for her. But she also taught me that challenging myself needs to be enjoyable. Miss Autel taught me how to tell a story and get maximum laughs. And Mrs. Sullivan taught me that there's no shame in striving for absolute excellence. Mrs. Foley taught me how to read like you mean it, and I do mean it. She also gave me The Crucible, which I believe is the best play that has ever been written. If you haven't read it, you should do so this evening. So, Miss Foley gets thanked twice, you will thank her too. I also must thank my family. Mom and Dad, thank you for being my biggest fans, for giving me your love and trust, and for letting me skip school for 3 weeks to make a horror movie in an abandoned hotel. Mom, thank you for holding my hand while I cried over my math homework. Thank you for teaching me how to grow in my faith and be a more loving person. Dad, thank you for taking me to concerts so I can learn what fun actually is, and for letting me be a goofball. You're the greatest dad who ever lived. Don't tell anyone. My siblings also deserve their thanks. Jenna, Nick, and Hope, thank you for always being supportive of me. Your contributions to my sense of humor, taste in music, and intelligence have been incalculable. The three of you also taught me how to handle people making fun of me. This training lasted a bit longer than I would have liked, but I'll get back at you eventually. There are 4 other people who I have to thank because without them I wouldn't have survived high school. Kristen and Garrett, thank you for being my bonus older siblings. Kristen, you are the most kind person who I've ever known. Thank you for telling me like it is in the wardrobe department. I would dress like an idiot were it not for you. Garrett, you are my favorite person to talk about nerdy stuff with. You gave me comic books and Game of Thrones, and while that may sound silly, it means a lot to me. Kim, I couldn't write anything without you. Having you in my corner to share jokes and videos and deep thoughts with for the last 4 years has been the most comforting thing in the world. Thank you for being just a text message away. And Josie, you're the real Batman. Your generosity and tough love has gotten me through the last 4 years. Finally, and most importantly, I must thank my class. You guys inspire me with your drive, your humor, your realism, and your friendship. And my mom is going to murder me for saying you guys. She told me not to on the car right here, and I forgot. It is my challenge to you all that you continue to inspire people with the next several decades of your life. Don't forget the past, but don't live in it either. Do what makes you happy, help other people, and do more good than you do harm. My ultimate dream for the class of 2015 is that in 25 years, during the salutatorian speech at Woodland High School, we are the fun fact. Not necessarily that we're all enormously famous, but that we have had such fulfilled lives and achieved so much that we still inspire people. I think that's a challenge that we are all ready to face, and I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you, everyone.